Time for a recent reads. Alright guys, welcome back to my channel. I am Zach with Zacks Books, and today I've got a recent reads for you. So I've got 3 books here that I've read recently. We will have these linked down below if you're intrigued with any of them. Again, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. We are close to 3,000 subscribers. It really means a lot if you guys would subscribe. We do a lot of fun things here. We just finished up Zocktober. If you have not seen that, there's 31 videos, 31 days. Kind of like Vlogmas and like for vloggers in the Christmas season. That was really fun, and let's get into some books here. Alright, so the first book is The Girl Next Door by Jack Ketchum. So this book to me is, I wouldn't say it was hard to rate, I would say it's hard to stomach. I gave it 4 stars. It's a book that is just, it's gruesome, I'll say. It kind of, I would say the 2 toughest books for me to like rate and kind of like review have been Rage by Richard Bachman, Stephen King, and this one. Just because like, you want to like the book, but you just hate everything that's happening in it. Because it's like, this girl's just getting tormented and like abused. She gets like raped. It's like, it's bad. And it's like, it's a really good story, but it's just so aggravating to hear what's going on. And it's just, I ended up giving it 4 stars just because of the torture stuff that's really going on. It's just it's too much. I couldn't give it 5 just because of that reason. I know some other people have a tough time kind of rating this book because of that same kind of reason. But ultimately, it is a good story. I do recommend it. Just know that there's a lot of graphic things that happen, and you really feel bad for Megan. It's just bad. I mean, I still liked it. I don't know. I don't want to say too much, but it's a pretty good story. Just know that you got to have a pretty tough stomach for some of the things that happened to her. So there you have The Girl Next Door by Jack Ketchum. The next one I will say will probably be, I'm not going to say controversial, but a lot of people really enjoy this book, and that is Pearl by Josh Malerman. So I had high hopes for this book. I ended up giving it 2 stars. It just fell flat for me. I know some people gave it 4 or 5. Some people really enjoyed it. It was just a book that didn't really click for me. As soon as I heard it was about like a killer pig, I was like, I'm all for that. I need to get some redemption from Animal Farm with like weird pig animals. It started out promising. About, I would say, a third to about halfway through, there's just too many parts where the pig's just not really involved and you're following some dull characters, in my opinion, and it just made me really lose interest. I ended up getting through it, and I don't know, there were parts I just really didn't like, and there were some that were, you know, I mean, the plot of the book is really cool. Like, this, like, manipulative kind of pig, like, forces people to do things, and, like, killing is a big part of it, and I don't know, like I said, about a third of the way through, halfway through, the pig just kind of disappears for a little bit. It gets mentioned every now and again, but then it's just, like, kind of gone. And to me, that kind of, I was all for the pig. That's what I wanted. I just needed more pig in this story. That's what I'll say about it. I just needed some more pig. So, but yeah, otherwise it wasn't, you know, terrible. I know The Lost Village was another one I had high hopes for. I actually like DNF'd it, but this one I got through, but just didn't work for me. Needed some more pig in it. So there you have Pearl by Josh Malerman. Alright, the last book I'm going to talk about is one that everyone's been asking me about. Zach, what was book 100? 100th book of the year ended up being Needful Things by Stephen King. It got, I think, 50-something votes, and I think the next closest was Gone Girl with 40-something. It was a close race. But ultimately, Needful Things ended up winning. Thank you for everyone who voted and who participated in the YouTube vote as well as the Instagram vote. It was really fun, and I don't know, maybe we'll try and do one for, like, what do you want me to read for my first book next year? Who knows? But let's talk about Needful Things. So this book is about a town well, the town's called Castle Rock. And it's labeled as the last story in Castle Rock, but I think there's another one that's in Nightmares and Dreamscapes, which is a short story collection that came out after this. I think another Castle Rock story ends up happening in it, but I think it's the epilogue to Needful Things. I think that's what I read. It's like the after, whatever. But this book, a shop opens up in town called Needful Things. It's owned by an older guy named Leland Gaunt. And this guy's kind of sketchy. And what ends up happening in this book is people go into the store, they find something that they like, and what ends up happening is the guy's like, alright, you gotta pay me twice. First payment's in money, second payment is in a prank. And they're like little careless pranks that really go on in the book. But they end up escalating very, very much so. And, like, people die, and it gets very escalated. I absolutely love the story. It was so good. I gave it 5 stars. We're going to have my top 10 Stephen King coming out soon. This is in the top 10 Stephen King books of all time for right now. Obviously, I still got like 20, 30 more to go. But this book, I held it off for too long, just like I did Dead Zone, and it definitely lived up to the hype. So I thank you guys for voting on this one, because this was a hell of a ride, and I really enjoyed it. I did actually end up watching the movie, too. I think that was it's really interesting, I'll say that much. But this book was phenomenal. I know, like I said, with, what was it, Salem's Lot? I'll mention this in probably the top 10. I'll kind of go more into it. Is the whole story where there's like a whole town involved. It usually kind of throws me for a loop because I have a hard time trying to picture like, okay, this is this person, this is this person, oh, that's that person. In this and in Salem's Lot, after watching the films, it really helped. So I'll talk more about that in the top 10. But this book was so good. 5 stars, without a doubt. So there you have Needful Things by Stephen King. Alright, so those are my recent reads. I got a 4-star, a 5-star, and a 2-star. We will have these linked down below, like I said. This was really fun. I enjoyed these books. Again, I want to thank everyone who voted on the 100th book. It was actually really fun. So, probably going to do that again. I've been posting a little bit more on Instagram, so make sure you follow us on that. We will have that link down below as well. But yeah. This is really cool, and I had some good books. So we'll see you guys in the next video. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Later.